The Russia-Ukraine conflict has caused a shortage of essential commodities like fuel, fertilizer and grains on the African continent. Uganda, which relies on wheat imports from Russia and Ukraine, is however looking at alternatives to the solution.
We won't foresee, however, in Uganda, significant threats to our food security. And we think that those countries that appear to be having shortages in terms of supply of things like maize flour should actually approach Uganda as soon as possible. But we need to work together, as countries. Those countries with food shortages could work with countries with surpluses in food supply.
Tanzania, on the other hand, says it plans to subsidize the rising cost of fuel and get more external support.
The government has approached, of course, IMF, for a facility, at least to again stabilize, of course, balance of payments and budget support. So we have approached IMF for an extended facility, credit facility, ECF, the famous one. And now, of course, the mission is in Dar es Salaam, in Dodoma, for discussion with the authorities.
But some economic experts attending the Dakar meeting say countries need to take advantage of opportunities being created by the Ukraine conflict.
One, of course, is the opportunity to enhance our productive capacities. Again, we should have more countries that are producing fertilizers on the continent to join the Moroccos and others that we may have. I think that is a huge opportunity, but also just to increase our agricultural productivity. I actually do not understand why we are importing heavily from outside the continent. I think this is where we also see a lot of the benefits and how we can actually accelerate inter-Africa trade.
The African Development Bank has already apportioned $1.5 billion to support emergency production of grains and oilseeds whose supply has been hampered by the Ukraine conflict. The bank says it is meeting with manufacturers of fertilizers in the coming week to ensure there will be a systematic way of supplying African countries with fertilizers. It says it is also pushing for countries in the continent with ports to ensure faster clearance of fertilizers for themselves and other landlocked countries using their ports. Coletta Wanjohi for CGTN in Dakar, Senegal.